Trisha Doodoo, and welcome to the new look, Real Talk, your issues, your views, your news, your show. Each week I'll be joined by 3 guests whose opinion may get you nodding or screaming at the screen. And Real Talk is your show, so you can get in touch in whatever way you like. You can call us, please, 0207 819 6460. You can email us at realtalk@otv.co.uk. You can send us a tweet as well at OTV or find us on Facebook. And today is the day, by the way, that back in 1494, Christopher Columbus went on to discover Jamaica. So a big hello to our Yardy viewers, okay, our Jamaican viewers, as well as everyone joining us from Europe, Africa, and of course here in the UK. Right, to our guests, a big welcome, first of all, to TV producer and journalist and presenter and everything, Jasmine Dotawala.
Good evening.
I've also got funny man, comedian extraordinaire, Bo.
Good evening.
Bo the comedian, that's your name. Bo the comedian. That's it. And former MP for Brent, Dawn Butler.
Hi.
Thank you very much all for coming in. Very excited that you are. And before we dive into our guests, have you seen this year's, hot show, hot film? It's called Fast Girls. You've seen it, haven't you, Jasmine?
Just 2 nights ago at the first screening.
Ah, very nice. It's supposed to get us into London 2012 mode. Let's have a look.
You need new spikes. I'm broke.
Good luck today, darling.
Don't waste a luck, Mum.
It's happy September.
You have as much right to be here as they do. On your marks. Head.
I'm in the squad.
Bloody right you are.
Can I scream now?
Yeah, go.
Looks like Lisa's got a rival. That would be good for her.
How do you think you'd handle the relay?
I'm not very good with teams.
Come and meet the girls. We're gonna beat the USA. I need silk, ladies. Give me silk.
She's joining us then, Tommy.
Yeah, we'll see.
So here we go.
Carl, team physio.
He's got that whole boy band look going on.
USA and Great Britain are neck and neck.
Look good and run fast, girl. Not bad.
Fast Girls, written, of course, by the brilliant Noel Clarke. You saw the film, Jasmine. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh, thumbs up, definitely. Do you know what? It's just so refreshing to see a film that has young people in it, has an urban edge to it, written by, of course, Noel Clarke, an amazing writer, director and actor.
And stars in it.
And stars in it. He plays the coach. Always a bit of eye candy for everyone, as well as being a bit intelligent, so that's a good look. But it's just really refreshing to see something that doesn't involve hoods and violence and gangs, the things that we're always, told that young people in inner city London are about. It's a really good feel-good film and a great storyline. It's nice and refreshing. Coming up to the Olympics with the whole sports thing, I wanted to get out into the gym and get myself going.
Get going. I mean, Dawn, are people excited about London 2012?
Well, the cab driver coming down wasn't that excited. He said he's going to take 4 weeks off because the traffic's going to be really bad. But I hope so. And we have to get people excited about the Olympics because at the end of the day, we've paid for it and it's happening and it's in London. So we have to find a way to engage and enjoy it. I mean, I haven't got any tickets.
What?
I've
You're
applied.
A politician.
I've applied. So don't believe everything you read because I've got no tickets at all. But, we have to find ways to engage and enjoy it, I think.
OK, Bo, were you a fast sprinter at school?
Actually, I was. I was a really fast sprinter in school. I could have been an Olympic champion racing in 2012. I'm actually excited about the Olympics. I know it's kind of trendy to be moaning about it and be complaining, but I'm actually quite excited. Whether that lasts will remain to be seen.
Did you get
I hope
tickets?
we win quite a few medals. No, sadly. I wouldn't go crazy like some people did and order £30,000 worth of tickets. Then you get all of them and then you have to remortgage your house. So, yeah, I thought I'd stay safe and just watch.
Well, we've got one of the actresses that was in Fast Girls, Lashana Lynch. Hello, Lashana.
Hello.
Congratulations, by all accounts, from Jasmine. It was a fantastic film. Did you enjoy being in it?
I did, yeah. I had a great time doing it. It was great. We had a good cast and it was good vibes on set. It was cold. We filmed at the latter half at the end of last year. It was really, really cold in crop top and knickers. And athletes don't do that. They don't run in the cold. But, yeah, we had a great time once we got over that.
Did you do any research? Did you get to meet any real athletes?
Yeah, we were trained by 2 athletes, Shani Anderson, who is an ex-athlete, and Jeanette Quatchy, who is a current athlete. It's amazing. And all the other relay teams were actual athletes, so we're actually running with...
All right, OK. Well, hopefully it'll do well. And are you fast anyway, or was it just... is it just special effects?
I used to do athletics when I was younger, actually, so it was a head start for me and a couple of other girls who had some experience in athletics. So, yeah, we had to work on speed too. We had to make it look very realistic. So.
Yeah. You're definitely a bit of the old, acting. Thanks very much, Lashana. Best of luck with the film. Right, let's crack on. Tonight, being local election night across the country and in London, the night when you decide who will be the next mayor, we thought it only right to ask, does London need a mayor that understands black people? We'll be speaking to Lee Jasper in just a moment, but let's go straight to you, Dawn. Does it matter who we have,
Yeah, of course it matters, because at the end of the day, you're making policies. You're deciding what happens to London. You're deciding where you go, what you do, what you see. And so, yeah, you need a mayor that understands.
Okay.
Yeah,
But we've got Boris.
Yeah, and what does he understand exactly? Come on, Bo, tell us, what does he understand?
I don't think he even knows where he is, actually.
This man today said to me, because I've been out in the campaign, this man said to me, can you lend me £3? And I was thinking, oh, this is a difficult situation I'm in. He says, I need to buy Boris a comb.
But hold on, you'd say that, Dawn, because you're Labour.
No, but it's true. But it's what happened today, because I'm thinking it's a difficult situation. And that's exactly what he said.
Well, what about you, Jasmine? Do you think, does it matter who we get in London as the mayor? Do they have to understand black people, or is it the best man for the job?
Of course it's the best man for the job,
Or woman.
Or woman, absolutely. Maybe we could stand one year. But on the subject, black Americans voted. They came out in hundreds and thousands and in their millions to vote for Obama. But has his agenda been all about black people? Have many of their lives changed out in the States? Did they even know what Obama's policies were? Or did they go out just because he was black? It's not about the colour of the person. I think it's about... But if you're talking about ethnic people and black people, I think it's about us making more of a connection at local level, become councillors for your borough, make changes locally at your community. Do you know how easy, how easy it is actually to become a councillor?
OK, well, who did you vote for, the London Mayor? I know it's not politically correct to ask. Who did you vote for?
Last year I voted for Boris because he honoured his commitments and he did what he was going to do. I was very happy with that. This year I voted for Siobhan Benita because while she may not win...
Let's go to Bo.
She's a great candidate.
Who did you vote for your second preference?
Boris.
OK, come on,
Last
Bo.
year, I did everything I could to stop Boris. Everything possible. Yeah, literally rugby tackling him on the street. And this year, I haven't voted yet, but I'll be voting after the show.
And who will you be voting for?
Do you know what? I think I'm voting for Ken. He's let me down with the whole expenses thing, but given the choice of other candidates... OK,
Dawn, it's going to be Ken Livingstone for you, I'd imagine, a bit of Labour.
I voted for Ken first, and I actually voted for Siobhan as my second preference.
OK, well, let's go over to Lee Jasper. Lee Jasper? Hello, Lee.
Hi.
Why didn't you stand for London Mayor?
Well, there's plenty of time yet. I'm spring chicken. The two big beasts knocked 7 bells out of each other this time round. And, maybe in 4 years' time, I don't know. I was really impressed this year, I have to say, with the independent candidate. I never pronounced her name quite correctly.
Siobhan Benita.
Yeah, Siobhan. I've seen her speak, and she was a great candidate. I thought she was a little lightweight on the policies and hadn't sort of enough experience thinking them through. But nevertheless, I thought she brought a fresh approach. So you never know with mayoralities. The first mayoralities that were held in the northeast of the country, they actually elected a guy who campaigned the entirety of the mayor election campaigns in a monkey suit.
Oh, yes, I know.
and his identity wasn't revealed until he was actually elected as the monkey, offering free bananas for his manifesto.
Maybe that's what we need to do. But Lee, very quickly, do you think the next London mayor should have an empathy with black and ethnic minorities? Do you think that's important?
I think it's absolutely essential. I think the disturbances last year in August show how important it is to maintain, really good, open levels of communication with communities at a local level as well as across the city. He's got to be a mayor for the whole city, not just for outer London. He has to be a mayor for the whole city.
Stay there, Lee, because I want to go to our guests as well. It's all about charisma, isn't it? It's people, when it comes down to politics, it's who you actually like, isn't it, Jasmine? I mean, who came across for you in terms of the London mayoral campaign? Who came across as the likeable one?
Well, To me, I've worked my whole life and continue to with young people. I engage with them, I'm connected with them. I try and make a difference where it matters in their real lives. I don't like the people who form groups who say, we're about young people. And actually, I've been to all of those groups, Home Office, City Hall. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced they know.
People seem to like Boris, don't they, Lee? And Bear, they seem to like him.
Do I have a liking face for Boris on at the moment? If I'm projecting that, then I'm failing, I guess.
Town-like. Yes. He has a lot of charisma and he does honour his commitment. Remember, these candidates...
Can I say, I do hate on him.
One commitment, and all of a sudden you've put him on a pedestal for somebody who honours all his commitments. Just because somebody didn't go through with the Western extension of the congestion charge, it doesn't mean that he honoured all of his commitments. He's actually let a lot of people down, and he said that there will be no more killings on the streets of London, that young people will not die on the streets of London. And at the time I said it was irresponsible for him to say something like that, but he said it. He did not honour his commitment for the many women.
One second, ladies. One second, ladies. It's all kicking off here. I'm telling you, it's great. Those two should stand for London Mayor next time. Lee, I mean, it seems by the statistics that, Ken Livingstone, a lot of black people seem to always vote Labour. They seem to be a bit dodgy about Ken now. What's your opinion?
Well, I don't think that'll be borne out by the stats. I think the vast, overwhelming majority of those people, black people who will vote for Ken, absolutely sure. Whether that's right or wrong is for others to decide. I know my view, but the vast majority of them will. I think the Tory Party research just the last couple of weeks, concluded with Baroness Varsi being dispatched to secure the ethnic minority vote in 33 key constituencies they need to win. And most of them are being in London if they're going to win the next general election. So they understand that, and their research showed them that 76, 78% of all African, Caribbean and Asian communities do not vote for the Tory party. They see that as a mountain to climb.
But they've lost one person here. You weren't happy with Ken and his expenses, Bo.
The thing is,
you mean
he gave it all the talk on the mayoral debate show. And then others challenged him to reveal his expenses, and he just seemed to just go into his shell, to be fair, and then backtrack. But as a black minority, you see it there, yeah. I was always kind of, my dad always told me, vote Labour, vote Labour, vote Labour. But I like to think I have a bit more of a open mind than that.
There's a reason why people vote Labour, and there's a reason why your parents say vote Labour, and it's not just because they're telling you to vote Labour.
It's because why they told me not to vote for the Conservatives. Because they're racist, and when they get in, they'll do this, that, and the third.
And when they get in, unemployment will go up.
To be fair, I think they are proven a party that believes. I think it's kind of the American style of politics, whereby if you are poor, you've done something wrong, and therefore you need to get off your backside and do something. Yes. If you're poor, you need to make sure that your life is better.
I'm going to ask all of you to round this up, because I have a lot of tweets saying it doesn't matter what colour the mayor is, so long as he's good. Thank you very much, Tracy, Michael and John. But Lee, in a nutshell, what are the 3 top topics or issues that really concern black people?
I think the employment/economy, education, and then it's either housing or criminal justice.
Okay.
But I think those are in the top ranking concerns.
Lee, thank you very much. Who thinks Lee should run for mayor next time round?
Oh no, because I'm going to run for mayor.
Oh, you're going to run for mayor? Sorry, Lee.
I am Spartacus.
I'm going to run in the monkey suit.
Thank you very much, Lee Jasper. So Lee Jasper may actually be up against you next time, Dawn. But is that?
I've just decided that just now on this show. I think you've inspired me to run for mayor next time. Thanks.
Wow, you heard it here first. We'll get it in the papers tomorrow. What about you, Jasmine? You're very politicised.
I think that we, out of habit and our families, voted for Labour throughout the generations, and they stood for one thing back then. But now, different parties stand for different things. There are so many different tests you can do online now. No one has an excuse not to do them. Every different print press team has it. If you go on them, you might think you were Labour, you might be a Lib Dem, you might be a Tory, you could be anything. Look, it basically asks you questions questions about what you believe in. So what your thoughts are and what your needs are for the environment, for employment.
BNP, what would I do then?
Well, then you might really vote for BNP. But my point is, you don't vote for Labour out of tradition. You don't vote for Labour because your parents voted for Labour.
Order! Oh my goodness, it's like the House of Commons here, it really is. Tell us who you voted for as well. Time for a break. We've got some cracking stories from the papers that you may have missed. You're watching Real Talk. Get involved. Oh, you lot of fruit.
New to OTV. Once upon a time, there were a pool of presenters. Some from TV, some from comedy, music, radio, and others from back and beyond. All were assigned silly duties, but I took them away from all that, and now they work for me. The only thing that can keep them in the hot seat is you. My name is The Producer, and this is The Show. Mondays at 7. New to OTV.
4 years. It's a long time. No matter where life takes you, we'll be there. The all-new Renault 4 Plus package, 4 years warranty, roadside cover, servicing and finance package on...
Introducing the future of TV. The O-Box, a world of live blockbuster TV. Pause, play, rewind and record live TV.
Somebody shout hallelujah.
Take your favourite channels from Africa and around the world, wherever you go.
Africa, right.
Channels include OTV, BBC iPlayer, Ben, Fox, AIT, Al Jazeera, Nollywood Movies TV and hundreds more are available for free.
Are you ready for the journey now?
The O-Box. Plug, play, love. Also available on your smartphone or tablet via the O-Box app.
Welcome back to Real Talk, your show, your news, your views. Keep letting us know if London should have a mayor that understands black people. A lot of you on the tweets and emails are saying race has got nothing to do with it. You just need a good mayor. Keep them coming in. Still to come as news comes that children as young as 8 are looking at inappropriate websites. What are your kids looking at tonight on the internet? Plus, as one US magazine asks, is it better to be hot and hated or ugly and loved? What do you say? This is the way that you get in contact with us. It's your show, you're in control. You can call us 0207 819 6460. There's the email address, realtalk@otv.co.uk, or you can send us a tweet at OTV. We've got some great guests in the studio. Jasmine Dotawala, producer and TV presenter. We've got Bo the comedian and former MP for Brent, Dawn Butler. Thank you very much all for joining us. We're going to be looking at papers that you may have missed, some stories that you may have missed. Let's go to you first, Jasmine. What did you pick up today?
So, I thought this was really exciting. Facebook users are one click away from saving a life. Now, when you log on to Facebook and you set your profile up, there's, you know, where you put your relationship status and your education and your age and everything else, there's a section where you can actually click on to become a donor. An organ donor, which is brilliant. Yeah, it is brilliant because, you know, I'm an organ donor and I know that if any of my family find me dead before the people find my card, they're not going to let my organs go. But if you find my card first, I'm saying it's all right for you to take them. So my point is, if you'd already clicked it on Facebook, everyone would know. And it's not about the card. Do you know what I mean? I think that's, I don't know, I like the pro-social side of Facebook.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
What about you, Bo, the comedian? Make us laugh.
I had an interesting story about David Harwood, star of a hit American TV series Homeland, and his disappointment at returning back from Hollywood and being unable to get auditions in the UK.
Yes.
Now, I think his first mistake was returning back to the UK, really. Because if I was going to Hollywood, I would never come back. Look, I would sell out, really. I'd change my address, I'd change my name, I'd change my blood
group. See him on screen now, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he? He's in the massive US hit, Homeland, and yet he can't get work over here.
But that's like Idris Elba. I mean, I know Idris well, and he's from East London, but he couldn't get any work in the UK, and he went to America.
I'd prefer it that way round.
That you go to from here to there.
Huge movie in the States and can't get work here, then I'm on something here in the States, they won't look at me. It's a good problem to have.
Well, let's go to attitude, though. Why doesn't he write his own stuff and then act?
That's
what the younger generation is doing.
Let's move on to Dawn. What have you got, Dawn?
I'm afraid I haven't got a happy story. Oh. Sorry. I've got the doubling of maternal death rate blamed on shortage of midwives. And the reason why this story is quite important to me as well, because Norfolk Park Hospital in Brent actually was under special measures for their midwifery unit. And lots of women, especially if they had English as a second language, had problems giving birth and problems with their death rate. And also Queen's Hospital, and there's that Serena Ali who died giving birth. And I do think that it's an issue that really has to be looked at, because women shouldn't be dying at that rate. And it was in Queen's Hospital. In Queen's Hospital, I can testify, I mean, I'm taking them to court as well, Queen's Hospital, because they are the worst hospital in the world, allegedly, so that you don't get sued on the programme. But yeah, I can tell you that from first-hand experience.
I mean, obviously, can you say anything about the case, or that you're taking them to court?
It's about my dad, actually. And sadly, he's passed away, but because Queen's negligence. And I just think that when you go into hospital and when you put your loved ones in hospital, you expect them to get the best care possible. And I think the reduction in staff and the cuts, I think, take a huge responsibility on the death rate of people
well, the
in
hospital aren't here to give their side of the story, so obviously we'll have to be a bit sensitive on that. We had a lot of tweets coming in. We'll have some more papers in a moment. A lot of you saying it's got no idea, they've got no relevance, the colour of the mare. The race of the mare is irrelevant, says Salman, a solicitor. Any person in a position of responsible should be able to understand all communities, not just black and ethnic ones.
Although I think representation is important. I think we need representation at all levels. You need representation on TV, you need representation in politics, you need representation in schools, and I think that's important. So even though people say colour doesn't matter, if you ask people, does representation matters, I'm sure they'll say yeah.
The story, Jasmine, please, quickly.
Let's have another look at another story. OK, so I was fascinated by the fact that shoe designer Christian Louboutin is going to have, from this week, an exhibition just for his shoes. And if you've seen his shoes, they're the ones everyone knows. Every woman wants a pair. The red-soled Chrissy Lou shoes. Yes. I actually once lost one at the Mobo Awards. I'd only had it on for 4 hours, 400 quid, gone. The other one is still on a shelf at home, just to remind me that I had. It's such a long story. I'll tell you about it on Twitter. Okay, no, honestly. But so he has an exhibition at London's Design Museum starting this week, and it showcases all his designs, and they are like works of art. And I actually think if you go there, you will drool. Yeah. It's fascinating.
I don't know if I could spend £400 for a pair of shoes, but can I just say, you are one of Mariah Carey's, obviously singer-songwriter, best friends. You went to her wedding. I mean, I bet you've seen loads of, like, bling and shoes and whatever and all sorts there.
I think most women now own a pair of designer shoes now.
I imagine Mariah Carey's got some stylish ones.
She has a few.
OK.
I think my shoes are a work of art.
OK. Right, moving on. Would you rather be good-looking and hated or ugly and loved? American Lifestyle Mag, Vibe, asked the question to their readers, and trust me, we've been asking it in the office and it's been pure arguments. It's an interesting question. What would you do? You can email us, realtalk@otv.co.uk. What would you be, Dawn? Well, beautiful and hated or ugly and loved?
I think beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Good politician answer that. What about you, Bo?
Everybody hates me, yeah. So I assume I'm fantastic looking.
When you are dating, are you dating, Bo? Are you single?
I am.
When you look for a woman, does she have to be hot?
Absolutely. I can't see her personality from across the room, can I? Why am I making that journey? That's a wasted trip. Do you know what I mean? No, but I've met some absolutely amazing-looking women who have completely vacuous personalities, and it is, I would say, a bigger turn-off than somebody who's not so good looking but has some interesting things about them. I know that sounds like I'm just playing politics, but that's her job, not mine.
So you've been out with ugly women who are lovely?
I never said I've been out with ugly women. Caged ladies, no. No, I think it's important to be attracted to someone physically, but that doesn't last very long if the person is completely vacuous and your conversation consists of listening to the minutes on a clock. You know, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
what about you, Jasmine?
Oh, I would definitely go for the ugly and loved. Shall I tell you why? Let me explain that. I have been in the privileged experience of being around some of the most beautiful people in the world, whether it comes to celebrities, musicians, artists, models. And what you do see when they first begin their careers or before they've been in that makeup and hair chair is they are really not the best looking people. You know, when you look at the sexiest list this week and you look at someone like Talisa, who is at number 1, I worked with her before she was Tulisa, and she was the plainest girl ever. You know, if anyone can go from that to that, anyone can be beautiful.
Still quite plain. I mean...
Ooh, controversial.
I'm just saying, she is still quite... She is still quite plain.
You know, someone like Alicia Dixon, who is stunning and beautiful, isn't even in the list. People need to understand how these lists work. And,
but
you know, just to give you an example...
gorgeous, though, Jasmine? It's all about being...
I don't know how they compile that list,
actually. If you saw Jay-Z on the street and he wasn't famous or wealthy or powerful, would you say he was beautiful? But no, he has an aura because his personality is great. He's a smart man.
But let's be honest. A lot of people, let's be honest though, Jasmine, a lot of people are saying, what's Beyonce doing with Jay-Z? She's gorgeous, he's not so. I mean... But
I'll point to an example quite a few years ago, which is when JK appeared on, I can't remember what talk show it was, from Jamiroquai. And no, he spoke. That was the worst thing he could do, because until then, women had this sort of mystical aura about him, and he went, they were like, what's happened? Something's wrong with his mic. But no, I think distance creates... And a hat, yeah, that helps. Distance creates quite a mystique, and I think sometimes, I don't know, some of these celebrities are a bit overexposed.
We've had loads of emails.
Literally.
We've had loads and loads... yourself more beautiful.
OK, one second. We've had loads and loads of emails. A lot of people like Joanne saying, I definitely want to be loved, so I'm happy to be ugly. It's a no to cosmetic surgery. We're going to speak to a cosmetic surgery expert in just a moment. Michelle said, no, absolutely, I'll take ugly and loved anytime. Thank you. A lot of the men, actually.
That's what I was going to say.
A lot of the men aren't saying that. It's a lot of the women this evening.
What are the men saying?
Well, the men are not.
That's what I was going to say.
The men don't want to talk, they just want to look. The women want to talk, etc.
Absolutely. So, Dawn, for you, it's ugly and loved?
Yeah, I do believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think that, you know, people fall in love with people for different reasons. So, you know, if you're only doing falling in love with someone because the way they look, then you deserve what you get, to be honest. Because if that's all you go for, you deserve what you get. You have to have a stimulating conversation for me to interest me. Otherwise, you're not... That's it. It's all over.
Do you think Black and Asian people are really, really concerned about their looks? Is it a big thing, Beau? I mean, you're a comedian. When you go out on stage, do you have to make sure the hair's looking...
You have to, because, you know, the black community can be quite, what's the word, hostile towards someone who hasn't made it ever. What's he doing out there? What's he wearing? Look at his shoes. Look at his top. So you've got to represent, you've got to come out in your best, but your best you, not your best...
But comedians are well known for taking the mickey out of ugly people in front of them. Do you do that?
I have never taken the mickey out of someone because of the way they look. I might take the mickey out of someone because of the way they accessorise. Do you know what I mean? You know, you've got to wear what works for you. And if you... Such as, don't wear short shorts if you know they're going to be lost. You know, if they're going to be lost on you, don't wear them.
I've never heard that before.
You know, if you're gonna rock a weave, make sure you do it. You rock it properly. I don't want to see. You know, I shouldn't know it's lace front. I shouldn't be able to see the line around the top that's like you sellotaped a plastic bag to your head. Do you know what I mean? So it's more about making the best of you, not necessarily someone being ugly, but someone not having good friends around them.
Oh my God, I didn't even know all that about weave. You know more about weave than I do.
You see the line just go.
Well, the big question is the reason we're asking this is because apparently a lot of black and ethnic people are having cosmetic surgery. We'll speak to an expert in just a moment. Would you have anything done, Jasmine?
If I could cream it onto myself, I'd do it. But I'm so scared of operations. No, seriously, in all seriousness, you know, someone like Kanye West's mum went in to, for example, get a bit of tummy tuck and a lipo operation, and she's now dead. So things like that terrify me. And also, I feel like the things that I think I'm not happy with, like when I was younger, I used to have, oh, should I get my nose made smaller, etc.
Okay, well,
I'd lose my ethnicity.
Well, let's find out what women of all colours are having done, and men. Hello, Beryl.
Hello, Trish. How are you?
No, very well. Beryl Atkins, you manage Transpire, which is a cosmetic surgery company. Let's start with ethnic people, black and Asian people. Are they having more cosmetic surgery?
It has increased over the years that I've been doing surgery. A lot of people are becoming, they want to be more westernised, more European. So we try and say to people, have surgery done if that's what you want to change in yourself. But, you know, I think there's a lot of peer pressure on people wanting to look good.
So what are they having done?
You know, if a coloured person comes in and got a wide nose, straight away they want to have a smaller nose because, you know, they read all the glossy magazines and they see the trends. And especially in the Asian community as well, you've got all the Bollywood magazines, people looking beautiful. There's a lot of pressure on it, really.
So a lot of black people, you're saying, are having their noses straightened?
The bases of the nose, they're having the reductions done, so their noses look thinner. From when you face on to somebody, it looks quite wide on a coloured person, so they like to have the thinner look. Okay. People bring in clippings of magazines on how they want to look. Like you have like J-Lo, you know, the beautiful kind of pictures, and that's how people want to see it. I've even had requests for Afro-Caribbean to have lip reduction because I don't like the big lips. But, you know, that's how they're born, you know.
But that's funny, Beryl, because I think a lot of white people have collagen put into their lips to make the lips bigger. So we
exactly.
We're all trying to be the same.
We're all trying to. I mean, does that surprise you, Beryl?
So I've got visions of a black woman looking in a magazine and they say, "What do you want?" And she's turning to, I don't know, to Lisa, and they're turning the page back to Beyonce. You know, I think we should all have realistic expectations about who we can be. And I personally, I don't understand. It's a bit Emperor's New Clothes. I've never seen anyone who's had a bit of surgery done who I think looks better.
Would you have anything chopped off or added on?
I'd have nothing added on, and certainly, and most certainly, nothing will be chopped off. Yeah, no way.
You know what, I would argue, though, that people suggest that it's always ethnic women trying to be more European, but actually it goes the other way too, because I know a hell of a lot of Caucasian women who are, you know, getting butt implants and becoming rounder in their boobs and, you know, thicker lips, etc., etc. It's not only, you know... Oh, yes, coloured women, sorry.
I was going to
that is true.
If you like, as a politician. Who's a coloured woman? I don't know who the coloured woman is.
They're from the 60s.
They're from who are they trying to look like? But yeah, I mean, you read in the papers all the time and you can see where Caucasian women have had the collagen implants in their lips, and now you can buy butt pants as well to make your butt look, because you don't have to have the surgery, but you can have bigger butts. Yeah. And I really think that you just have to be beautiful with who you are. Absolutely. And it's about confidence.
Weren't there two sisters who went to prison because they, for, I think it was benefit fraud or fraud, because they wanted to pay for operations.
Yes,
for
they did.
Operations.
And also there was a man in China who sued his wife because she lied to him about having loads of cosmetic surgery, and they had an ugly baby. Can you believe it? So he sued her successfully. Thank you, Beryl. Thank you.
No problem.
You're very busy, I take it.
I am, yes.
Okay.
Very, very busy, but it's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Thank you very much, Beryl Atkins from Transpire. We've had a lot of emails. I'd rather be good-looking and hated. My DNA is more important than popularity with boyfriends. I would not change my lips or my nose, says Michelle. Thank you very much. I mean, you know, it's very popular, and to be honest, Rihanna, you know, she's making all the headlines, and, you know, she looks like she's lightened and done things too. Jasmine, you might know the inside story.
About Rihanna?
Yeah, I mean, she looks very different to when she first started.
I think with anyone who's in the public eye who's a music artist, they're going to be constantly told by their stylist, record label, new record, new album, new image, new look. They're going to experiment with stuff all the time. I think it's really unfair, especially on ethnic and black women in the celebrity star eye, because actually, why shouldn't they experiment with their looks? If it was a white woman now doing, you know, short hair, long hair, tanned, not, you wouldn't question it. Well, but when it's a black woman, we've suddenly got a problem with it.
We've had an email from a man called John Johnny. He says, I'll take hot and dumb anytime. I mean, Johnny, come on. Remember, you can call us as well, 0207 819 6460. I mean, Kelly Rowland, the X Factor judge or a former Destiny's Child, she's had her boobs done and she feels a lot more confident, Dawn. Would you think about going under the knife?
Standing next to
Would I go under the No, I don't need to go under the knife. Do you know what I mean? I probably need to exercise a little bit more, you know, but you don't need to go under the knife. And that's the thing. It's like if you want to be slimmer, go running, eat less food. You know, people are big because they eat too much, quite frankly. And so that's what you have to do. I mean, there was that young girl who was a model in Hackney, I think, and she went to America. She had to have a butt implant, and she died. You know, I'm sure, you know, her family would say it wasn't worth it. It just wasn't worth the risk because she was beautiful as she was.
OK, we've had Andy, his email say, I'd rather be beautiful and hated because you'll be hated by the beautiful people anyway. We've had an email from about your comment about Northwick Park. They said Northwick Park is a great hospital. They are being recorded to have the busiest midwifery wards in Europe. Thank you very much, Dawn. So
they were under special measures and they've done a lot of work to turn themselves around.
All right.
They have.
We've got loads more coming up. Thank you. You are quick off the mark. We're coming up. We've got a break. We're going to be talking about, would you trust your child to surf the internet responsibly? You're watching Real Talk.
Right, this one, I'm going to insist on seeing all the appliances.
Mum, I want to do this one by myself.
I'll wait here then.
No need. I'll,
Where's my baby gone?
You've come for a room here too?
Yeah, Joe.
I'm Anna.
Hello.
Hi.
You've got the room. Sorry.
The ad said there were 2 rooms going.
No, there's not enough broadband capacity to support 3 computers going at it constantly.
Why, what have you got?
BT Infinity.
Oh, you've got that at home? It's like 3 times faster than your average broadband?
4 times faster, actually. It's pretty much one of the fastest you can get, so...
So, room for Joe too, then?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, come in. I was just joking. Thanks, fibre optic technology.
4 times faster than average broadband. Infinity. Only from BT.
And now, collect 1,000 Nectar points when you buy your home insurance through Confused.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk. You've been brilliant on the emails and tweets. Let's get some phone calls as well. We'd love to hear from you on the phones as well. We've been talking about who would be the right London mayor for black people and whether it's better to be hot and hated or ugly and loved. But still to come, as news comes in that children as young as 8 are looking at inappropriate websites. Do you know what your kids are looking at on the internet tonight? Plus, tough head natural or smooth burn scalp relaxer? What's your preference? You can call us about any of the issues. Here's how to get in touch. You can call 0207 819 6460. Standard rates apply, so it's cheap as chips. Or you can email us realtalk@otv.co.uk, or you can send us a tweet. And I can tell you this now, I remember my relaxer days. Oh, burn scalp. Let's just talk to Bo, the comedian. We've got Jasmine Dotawala, Bo, the comedian and former MP for Brent, Dawn Butler as our guests on Real Talk this evening. Bo, comedian, what are you up to though? What gigs are you doing?
What am I doing? Just doing my thing, really. I host a radio show on Saturdays, so get to spout my opinions about the world, and we talk about one of the topics that you spoke about earlier was a hot topic, which was to weave or not to weave. Yes. The podcast is still going berserk months and months after we've done the show. But I'm all over the place, really, mostly around London, but also outside of London as well, a few bits and pieces.
And Dawn, you just told us on the programme that you are going to run for London Mayor.
Yeah, you're going to be my campaign manager, Jasmine, as long as we're not in competition.
In the next 4 years.
In the next 4 years.
It'd be good if you did. But what's it like? I mean, you were the MP for Brent. What are you doing now?
I do quite a number of things. So I now work for the Jamaican government and working on the Jamaican Olympic House, which is going to be at the O2. It's going to be the place to be. So if you haven't got tickets for the Olympics, you can come down to the O2 and watch the races and feel the vibe of Jamaica. So that's good. So I'm doing that. I'm also on Colourful Radio on a Friday morning.
Very busy.
Talking about stuff. Stop and search is our topic tomorrow.
Okay, and Jasmine, you're a TV producer extraordinaire and all sorts of things, and London 360 you work with as well. What sort of things are you up to?
Just as you said, still exec producing London 360, 120 young reporters all across London. We've expanded to UK 360 and the Arts Council have now commissioned Arts 360. Still doing the bits and pieces on BBC Radio London, still doing the newspaper column. A bit of everything yourself.
Wonderful, absolutely brilliant. So we are talking, we get serious for a moment. Please do give us a call. We'd love to hear from you this evening, 0207 819 6460. Because in the papers this week, it's been reported 87% of children do not have parental control on their phones. And a recent study found that 21% of children as young as 8 had accessed inappropriate websites on their phones. We want to know, do you trust your kids to surf sensibly? Thank you so much to everyone that's emailed. We've had so many email and tweets. Keep them coming in. Particularly a lot of parents saying, I trust my child on the internet. I mean, it is worrying, isn't it, Jasmine? You know, I've got 2 sons. One's 11, one's 9. To think that they could be surfing adult websites is worrying.
I think that the onus and the responsibility should not be on the parents for, you know, because kids can find stuff anywhere. If I stop my child, well, I don't have any children, but if you stop your child on the internet, there's no saying that they're not going to go next door to their friend's house and they're not going to see it there. It should not be on the children or the parents. The onus should be on website moderators. There are sites out there that have stuff in it that adult worlds don't have any clue about. You know, I'm not going to name them because I don't want to give them any exposure or any branding or publicity, but there are sites out there where if you type in things like Brixton, Peckham, etc., there are whole sheaths of videos that come up with young people, you know, aggressing against each other, holding weapons, coming back to boast about what they've done.
But talking about this sort of, you know, this adult website, so children having access to what could be porn, violence, real deaths. You know, what can we do to stop it?
I think one of the things that could be done is not giving children technology at such a young age. We shouldn't think that just because it's become the norm that it's the best thing for your child. My nephew has no phone. I was speaking to him the other day about he is 9, but the rest of his classmates all have phones, internet-enabled phones. But he's not interested because he's been occupied with books and other things. And by the time he is interested, hopefully his mind will be shaped and formed. I think the problem is when these things come at such a young age that you get to indulge every curiosity and you can be horrified. But I, as an adult, am horrified by some things I've seen online.
Well, we're going to do it in a moment. We've got Ortis Dealey, a gadget show presenter, who can perhaps shed some light on this. Hi, Ortis.
Good evening panel.
Are you shocked, Ortis, at these statistics, or you know it exists, I suppose?
No, I'm not shocked by these statistics at all. I mean, as a kid growing up myself, getting hold of adult material was relatively easy. You could get someone older to step into a shop and buy a magazine from the top shelf or something like that. So it's easier for kids to get hold of that now. And I do agree with Jasmine that a lot of the responsibility falls to internet providers. So, for instance, if you bought a mobile phone for your child, it should be registered with the network provider or the internet provider as belonging to a minor, and therefore any dodgy websites should be blocked. And also, I agree with Bo that if you educate your children in the right manner, then they'll not really be drawn to anything like that. And then by the time they're old enough to make up their own decisions, they can choose to maybe indulge in it or not, but they can make an adult decision on it.
But you know, doesn't it lie with, like, you know, you guys, but, you know, like you say, the people who make this technology, surely, you know, there should be these little, you know, devices that just click in as soon as, you know, locks down the content as soon as it's inappropriate?
Those kind of fail-safes can be built into devices, but the manufacturers will say, because they don't know where each device is going to go, it would be an expensive addition to a device. I do believe that the responsibility lies with both parents and businesses.
OK. Otis, stay there, because Dawn, you were the Children and Families Committee in the House of Commons. You were on that sort of panel. How can the government help help parents to keep track of what their children are watching?
It's almost impossible. And this is a growing epidemic because, as you said, children are getting access to things that they would never have gotten access to before, and sometimes it's inconsiderate. So you'll put in something very simple into the search engine and you'll get something up quite sinister. And so the first thing that you have to do, the parents have to do, is buy their child a rubbish phone, quite frankly, so that they don't have access to the internet. You know, if you need the phone to contact them, buy them a rubbish phone. Because once they've got access to the internet, you have no control, because you cannot control the internet. And it is a growing epidemic, and it's actually quite dangerous, because what it's doing is desensitising children to things like violence and porn and aggression.
I mean, Otis, I want to just ask, why were you asking? You said when you were younger, you asked, older people to go and get you a mag. What is the obsession with wanting to grow up so fast?
Right, it's a peer thing. I went to an all-boys school, so from 9 till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it was nothing but boys and guys. And so you talk about girls, and then someone would say, "Oh, look what I found," and they would have a magazine.
And you would obviously turn away because you're a good boy, yes?
You learn a little bit more about the female anatomy, but with us, it was strictly the naked form. None of the really crazy and twisted stuff that you can get access to on the internet. It wasn't about growing up fast. There was a healthy curiosity to what a woman looks like.
Otis, we have to leave it there. I'm glad your curiosity was solved or sorted. I know you on the show in a couple of weeks. Take care. I'm glad you know what you're looking at now. But on a serious, please let us know your experiences. Because as girls, Jasmine, we never went and looked for boys, did we? We never looked at boys' bits, did we, when we were younger?
I just think we had other things that fascinated us, like netball.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but we still had football. to be fair, that'd be the one area where we multitasking.
Yeah, but the girls get the attention anyway. The guys need to go looking.
I think the thing with the magazine though is it used to be one magazine. And it would be floating around, and if someone came, it'd be dashed on the floor. It's not mine. It's his. He brought it in. He did it. But the difference with this kind of technology is you can get deeper and deeper and deeper into it.
Well, let's speak to a mum. Let's see what her experience is. We've got Hayley on the line. Hello, Hayley.
Hello.
Hi, Hayley. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Telford in Shropshire.
OK, Shropshire. OK, so what's your experience? I presume you've got, obviously, children. Do you allow them to... Do you allow them to...
I have a 15-year-old son, and in my experience, you have to trust your children. You have to be there to see what they're doing, to be there to explain if they need explanation, and you have to give them a certain amount of trust, because the internet's everywhere. They can have access to it off their mobile phones, their friends' phones. So you literally have to just educate them to make wise choices.
Do you trust your son?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I trust him. He doesn't have access to the computer in his bedroom, but I suppose via his mobile phone he does. And I do sometimes check up on things, and I'm just there to be open and honest with him and have discussions about stuff. So.
Hayley, stay there. You're nodding your head, Bo.
I'm nodding about them not having a computer in the bedroom. I just don't understand why parents do that. Surely your first weapon, even a television, your first weapon is to move it into a communal area where you can maybe walk past and see what they're looking at.
But don't they just do the click thing, Hayley? As soon as you come round, they're like...
Yeah, but at least you see. Yeah. You might see that if it's in their bedroom.
And at least they click away from it. If you let them in the bedroom by themselves, they've got the freedom to do what they want for as long as they want. At least if it's a communal area, then they feel that they have to click away from it, which is good.
Hayley, would you take Dawn's advice and maybe replace his nice phone with a rubbish phone so he doesn't get internet?
My son works. He does a paper round every day, and so therefore he pays for his own mobile phone package and so on. He's a good lad, and I just feel that we show him a certain amount of trust, and hopefully we'll get a certain amount of respect back from him. So we don't have computers in his bedroom. They're in communal areas in the house, in the office, etc. And we just try and show him some trust.
Thank you, Hayley. I mean, you sound like you've got it absolutely right. We've had the head teacher email us. Thank you very much, Debbie, who said websites has to be about parental monitoring in a supportive and open environment, explaining your fears as well as theirs. I mean, Jasmine, I suppose you work with youngsters day in, day out in many ways. You know, are they switched on at an early age? Are children as young as 8 knowing what to do?
Well, the young people I work with are normally between 18 and 25, so they're not that young. But what I will say is that there are growing amounts of internet providers with sites. That the areas I'm more concerned about aren't to do with sexual activities, they're to do with violence and crime and aggression. And a lot of these sites, I belong to a group, some MPs belong to it as well, and they are now becoming much more aware of sites that are hosting violent areas, you know, where I will beat you up, now I have to go out, my face is showing you, I nicked a rapper's chain, etc., etc. We're having these sites shut down.
Yeah.
So then the internet providers and the moderators of these sites are understanding that if they don't clean up their site, they will lose advertising and revenue.
And that's the best way. Yeah. Having a lot of emails, a lot of people from Europe as well, Amsterdam, Belgium, you've been tweeting us, thank you. Right, we have to just quickly lighten the mood. It's time to take to the streets with Street Talk this week. And we asked the question, is natural hair now the future for women as opposed to relaxed weaves? Here's what they said.
I personally prefer relaxer just because it just makes my hair easier to manage because I've got really thick hair.
I'm against relaxer, 110%, just because of the damage it causes people's hair. If you can rock fully blown natural hair, do it. I'm struggling right now because of the severe rain we're having.
Well, after going natural 2 years ago, I love it. I don't have to spend money on weaves or relaxers, and relaxers burn the out of your hair.
The hair market has gone up a lot, which has been quite expensive for everyone, even for treatment with your hair, extensions, weave. I think it's quite expensive.
I save £200 or £300 by having my hair natural per month.
I think Brazilian hair is like £80. Who spends £80 on hair that you grow yourself?
Well, I prefer weave personally because you can do all sorts of styles with it. I think if it's done as a treat to themselves, you know, maybe like once a month or as a little something for themselves, like the pedicures and manicures, I think it's fine.
I think loads of boys, they try and say that they like girls with the natural look, but then they end up falling for girls that have had treatment done to their hair or have weave and stuff.
I prefer natural because my girlfriend would be pretty annoyed if I didn't say that.
Little girl with the pressing curl. Age 8, I got a Jerry curl. 13 and I got a relaxer. I was a source of so much laughter. I am not my head. I am not your skin. I am not your expectations. No. I am not my head.
So come on, is it natural or is it relaxed? We'll go to a man. Come on, Bo.
You know what? I prefer natural. However, it's not that big a deal. Do you know what I mean? We'll overlook it for other things.
Okay.
Other things take precedent over the non-relaxed hair. But I guess I see it, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I see it a bit like, and this is extreme to say so, but like the surgery sort of thing, which is be happy with how you look. And I think hiding under a huge Farrah Fawcett weave isn't the way to go. That's just me. It's my preference.
Okay, Jasmine, in a nutshell, quickly, natural or processed hair?
Well, I can't speak on behalf of a race of women, especially a race that I'm not part of. But what I will say as a woman with an opinion is I have girlfriends from the black race whose hair has been natural for years. I don't think it's a return to natural hair suddenly. This story pops up in the black press every couple of years, I think. These women haven't gone anywhere. Either you're happy and confident with how you look or you want to make yourself look different.
Dawn! A £1 billion industry, the black hair industry. 80% of black women spend money on their hair products. What says it for you?
Well, I've been natural for many, many years, and I think, I think actually African Caribbean women, some women decide and move into it. So I don't think that women have always decided. I used to have relaxed hair, and then actually I watched Malcolm X. Do you remember Malcolm X? And there was a scene when he got his hair relaxed, and I cracked up laughing. I thought, but hang on a minute, I do that. And I thought, Hank, this is a reality check. The burn. And I thought, why are you burning your hair? And so, I mean, I've been natural for many, many years. And it is difficult to rock a natural look, especially when it rains. But I think it's beautiful. Next thing is locks, I think.
Well, you look absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. So do you, darling.
The one thing I will say
Quickly,
is often
quickly.
people say about manageability and, you know, that being a reason. But I know women wear heels and they look like the most painful thing in the world. But if people like them, women will rock them.
OK, well, keep emailing and tweeting about all the topics that we talked about. Thank you very much, Dawn, Butler, Bo the comedian, and Jasmine Dotawala. Fantastic guests. We'll see you next week. Keep emailing us and tweeting us, like I said. The conversation does not stop here. You've been watching Real Talk. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Bye-bye.
Would I rather be beautiful and hated or ugly and loved?
I'd rather be ugly and loved.
Beautiful and